Hello guys, welcome back to my channel Code Monger. So today we are going to solve another problem, that's problem number 1768, merge strings alternately, right? And it's an easy problem. So basically following this video, right, basically what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to solve all the Leetcode 75 problems, and one by one all the problems I will solve and add them to a playlist, right? So if you are trying to see or trying to solve this Leetcode 75 list, and if you face any problem, you can come to this playlist and see all the solutions wherever you are stuck, right? So that's all about the introduction. So let's move on to the problem statement first. So you are given two strings, word1 and word2. Merge the strings by adding in letters in alternating orders. Starting with word1. If a string is longer than the other, append the additional letters onto the end of the merged string. Okay, so what basically this problem statement is saying, like we'll be given two words, word1 and word2, and we have to start merging with word1. So in this case, let's take an example. So we have word1 and word2. So we have to merge the characters from these two words alternately, right? So and that's what we have to do, and we have the first character that should come to the output word, right? That should come from word1. Okay, let's try to understand it here. Okay, so the first word w1, right, or the word one that's been given to us is a b, uh, let's say a b c, right? And the word 2 that's been given to us, it's p q r. Now the final word that we have to form, right, it should be by alternately adding the characters from both the words. Okay, so what our final word would look like is, first we have to pick a character from the word one, right? So it would come from the first one, that's a. Then the second character should come from word 2, right? We have to add them alternately, right? Then after that it would, the second character from word 1 would come, that would be, and then the second character from word 2 would come, that is q, right? And then the third character from the first word would come, that is c, right? And the third character from the second word would come, that is r, right? So this should be our output. Okay, so if you see a q AP BQCR, AP BQCR is basically what we are getting here. Now, another thing to notice, like it's not always that the word one and word two would be of equal length, right? It could be like we have the second example that they have given, right? It's like word one is AB, right? And the second word is P, and the second word that they have given us is PQRS. Okay, so let's note it with different color. P, Q, R, and S, right? So how our final result would look like, the first character would come from here, so it would be A, right? And the second character would come from here, PQ. Now, then the second character from first string would come as here, B, right? And the second character from word 2 would come here as Q. Now if you notice, right, for the third iteration we don't have any character left in the word 1, right? So all the characters are exhausted from the word 1. Now we have to put all the remaining characters, that is R and S of the word 2, into the result, right? So it would become R and S. So the output would become AP BQ RS, right? So that is AP BQ RS. Okay, right. And same goes in inverse order, right? Also, like it, there could be more less characters in word 2 and more character in word 1. Okay, so how we are trying to do that in this to solve this problem, we are going to use two pointer approach, right? So that's the simplistic approach to solve this problem, right? So we are going to use two pointer approach. What we are going to do is, like, let's say, let's take this example, okay, A B, and then second is PQRS. Okay, now what we will do is like we'll try to put two pointers, right? I here and J here. Now with each iteration, right, what we will do, we will in each iteration we will add character one from here and one from here to the final output. Okay, but the way we write the code is it will be sequential. So the first character should come from the word one, right? So it would become like in e first iteration we will write A P, right? So that's our first iteration, right? After that I would come here and J would come here. Okay, so then in the second iteration we will write B, right, and B here and then Q here. Okay, then in the third iteration what will happen, I would come here and J would come here. Okay, so what we happen to notice here is like l- this pointer has breached the limit of the word length W1, right? The word one's length it has breached. So in that case, uh, what we have to do, we have to add all the remaining characters of the word 2 to our solution. That would be simply RS, right? So that's all how what we have to do, right? And the reverse is condition, like if it could be like word 1 is bigger and word 2 is smaller. In that case, word 2 would exhaust first, and then we have to add the remaining character of word 1 in the solution, right? So I hope the approach is clear to you. Now let's try to code it. Okay, so how our solution would look like, it would be something like this, right? So let's say we have been we will first, like, we have to return the answer in the string formats, right? So create an answer. Okay, now we will have two pointer, int I is equals to 0 and int j also equal to 0, right? And what, as I discussed, in each iteration we will keep on incrementing both the pointers, right? So let's start the iteration like while I is less than word1 dot length, right? And j is less than word2 dot length, right? What we would do, first we have to add the character of the first word, right? So that would be word1 dot char at I, right? And what we will also do, we have to increment the I, right? So we will do it using the post increment here only instead of writing it separately. So secondly we'll use word2, right? So this, once this is done, now if both the strings are equal, this would have been fine, the answer would have been correct, right? But there is a situation like word1 and word2 of unequal length. It could be, let's assume right now the uh, first word is exhausted, right? Word 2 is exhausted. So we have to add all the characters from the word 1 to the answer, right? So while I is less than word 1 dot length, right? And we will add answer plus is equals to word 1 dot char at I plus plus. Here we are assuming that the word 2 uh, word 2 is exhausted and word 1 is still remaining, and the second condition is, let's say word 1 is exhausted and word 2 is still remaining. Okay, assuming that answer plus is equals to word 2 dot char at j plus plus. Okay, so that's what we are doing here, and in the end we just have to return the answer. Okay, now let's try to run this solution. So here is the function. Okay, So all the basic test cases are passing. Let's try to submit the solution. Right, okay. So the solution is passing. Its runtime is 7 millisecond. Let's try to submit it again. Sometimes what happens, the performance improves, but here no luck. Let's analyze the time complexity also. Yeah, so here Leetcode is not allowing us to do that. We need to subscribe. Fine, but if you look at the code, right? So if you look at the code, what is happening is like it would be of time complexity O of n only, right? Whatsoever is the length of both the words, that would be the time complexity. In first iteration we are using the length, and in the second one we are also iterating over the length only, right? So in worst case it would be whatsoever is the max length of the two words, that would be time complexity. Okay, so yeah guys, that's all about the problem, right? I hope you are able to understand the solution. So do subscribe to my channel for more content like this, and I'll be uploading more solution from the Leetcode 75. So do check out the playlist also. See you guys in the next video.